So the year 2025 is coming to an end, and you, my friend, are questioning whether it's even worth doing this music next year. You've been grinding, but things just aren't panning out the way you've hoped, and you're still yet to make any money to show for all your efforts and hard work. If that's where you're at, then what I'm about to share in this video might give you the clarity that keeps you moving in the right direction. In this video, I'm going to be sharing 7 simple steps you can implement today and watch your skill level in music production 10 times in the next month. So make sure to stick till the end of this video because you do not want to miss number 6. Now, this is not some get rich quick scheme or do this to earn 7 figures as a producer BS. If that's what you're expecting, please click off the video. There are plenty other videos on YouTube you'll find useful. Now, if you are serious about taking actionable steps to level up in your craft, steps that you could be taking today to get closer to your goals, be it getting a placement with a big artist, selling a beat or selling more beats, getting more followers or getting your stuff heard by more people, smash that like button and lock in. Now, the first and most important thing you need to do is keep your mental health in check. It is very common in the producer, actually the music community, scratch that, the artistic community, be it theater art or visual art or music itself, to fetishize depression, insomnia, anxiety and things of the sort. You need to understand that these things are not achievements or badges of honor or things that just come with the territory. If you are struggling with this stuff, especially if they started after you ventured into music production, chances are you are guilty of one or more of these things. Not getting up to 7 hours of sleep daily, not getting enough sunlight, drinking a lot of coffee or caffeine, not drinking enough water, not doing enough physical exercise, sitting too long in front of a screen, doing drugs, have a shit diet, not doing enough cardio, or you're too focused on the desired outcome. Now, I think everything here is self-explanatory. I think the only thing that needs explanation here is the last point, which refers to being too focused on the outcome, which is, of course, you enter production, you want to make money. You're not going to take out of your time and just put your time, energy, and effort into something and not want to make money. I mean, if that's you do it as a hobby, that's cool. I too had this mindset, being too focused on the making money part when I just started. I feel like every producer is there at first. Until I read this book, Atomic Habits, it really put things into perspective for me. And I'm not going to get into the whole book because that's not the purpose of this video, but the 2 points it really highlighted was the process of creating a system versus the outcome. Like, when you do a business, you should be more focused on creating a system that will make the outcome inevitable than just focusing straight up on the outcome. Like, creating a type beat channel, making one type of beat consistently is more likely to get you a placement than just making beats and coding artists as a producer nobody knows, Then the second one is it's a very simple thing, really. It just says, when you enter business at first, all the effort, even if you put in all the effort, is not yet going to show results when you're just starting. So, of course, there's a lot more to get from this book, but these are the 2 most important points, in my opinion. That's why I highlighted them. So now let's move on to number 2, which is, don't remake your favorite songs. Study them. It's that simple. Instead of trying to get the right notes and the exact presets used in these songs that you love, it's going to be more efficient to keep a mental note of what you like in each song. Was it the bass line? Was it the gate effect?
I got
the echoing snare? The vocal chops? The extended reverse part? Whatever it was, keep a mental note, write it down. By the time you do this for 12 of your favorite songs, you'll begin to see a pattern. Now try to recreate just those parts of the song. If you make this a habit, over time, you'll be getting better at specific things rather than trying to get everything at once and ultimately failing. It's also an important thing to implement because in the process of doing this, that's where we get into number 3, you find your sound. Now, in the process of learning and trying to recreate the specific things you like, you learn some tricks along the way. and you are able to manipulate them and make them yours. Now they are uniquely yours because you like these things, you learn these effects, now you can create your sound. Now we move on to number 4, finish more beats. The importance of this cannot be overemphasized. Apart from the fact that you will have more finished stuff you can post and have less stuff just collecting dust on your hard drive, finishing more beats teaches you stuff like beat structure and FX, which is something a lot of producers hate. I myself to date still hate adding FX to beats. It just seems very stressful getting the exact FX. When you finish more beats, you get better. Now, number 5 is save presets, especially if you use stock plugins. Like myself, I love stock plugins. Finding the right instruments for your track can be a pain, especially when you're using stock plugins. So when you do find the right ones, you should save them in a specific folder or somewhere you can easily get access to them, or just add them to favorites, really. So when you do this, the next time you're starting a new beat, you already have a folder of ready-made sounds to go. Now, number 6 is learn one thing at a time. Like this is something that is glossed over a lot of times. And of course, when you just start learning production, you want to make everything. You want to know how to make Ashake type beats and Travis Scott type beats and Juice WRLD type beats and Pain type beats, But as a producer, especially when you're just starting, your currency is time. So it makes more sense for you to learn one thing, really understand it, such that when you're making a beat, like let's say you learn Juice WRLD type beats, when you're making a Juice WRLD type beat, you can make a beat that Juice WRLD can be on this, but it's not exactly sounding like one of his songs. Because a lot of times that's what tends to happen when you're just learning a bunch of random stuff. When you do try to make the type beats, you are just sort of trying to recreate and change a little bit of songs that already do exist. Now, number 7 is collaboration. This cannot be overemphasized. And there's a bunch of different ways depending on the type of producer you are, you can collaborate. But the one I recommend, which is the one I do, is go to studios around you and try to socialize. You're a producer, to just learn, be in the space, be creative. There's a lot of benefits to that. For one, you're going to finish beats more, because one problem I used to struggle with a lot was finishing beats. But I used to overthink and shit. So when I did go into a studio and start relating with people, when I was feeling this beat is half finished, they were there, artists were there, other producers were there, they were telling me this is fire, export it, I don't need to do anything more. But if you are sitting alone, you'll be feeling snare isn't right, or you still need more notes, or you need another switch up there, and you just overthink the whole shit. Just being in a creative space where you have other people who can give you inputs, who can give you ideas, stuff like that, is just very dope. And of course, this is not the only way to collaborate. There's a lot of ways you can make content with other producers. You don't even have to necessarily meet physically. You can use loops. Instead of making your whole beats from scratch, you can use loops, share splits, stuff like that. Thanks for sticking to this part. And now I'm going to give you some bonus tips. Always remember to spam Ctrl+S every now and then. Also, come over to the file settings and set the autosave to what best suits you. You can also set the theme and customize FL to your taste. You don't have to be stuck with the bland default. To reduce latency during recording and playback, come over to the audio setting and increase the buffer length to your liking. If you hear some crackling sound and your playback speed is weird while you're listening back to your track, that's your CPU crying for help. You can turn off unused plugins. Just head over to Tools, Macros, and select Switch Smart Disable for all plugins. If it doesn't improve, you can render the patterns to audio and repeat the process. Instead of setting the snap every single time you want to resize audio, you can simply hold Alt and drag freely as you like. And the last and most important one, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel to ensure anytime I drop some useful content like this, you're always the first to know. If you've made it this far in the video, you are a real one, and that tells me you're really serious about taking your career to the next level. So I've got a gift for you. In the description, you'll find a link to my 7-kit bundle completely free. Inside you'll find preset loops, MIDI chord progressions, melodies, drum samples, and even beat templates. These are all the same tools I use to speed up my own process and keep ideas flowing. Go grab it now. See you in the next video. Peace.